Samsung Galaxy S to Galaxy S22 evolution. Samsung Galaxy S. First released in June 2010, the Samsung Galaxy S ran on Android 2.1 and had an 800 by 480 Super AMOLED display. It also had a single-core 1 GHz processor and half a gigabyte of RAM. The rear camera was 5 megapixels, while the front was just 0.3 megapixels. The thing that really stood out about it was the customization of Android. Although we'd seen some of TouchWiz on other devices, it felt like it worked on the Galaxy S. Samsung Galaxy S2. Also known as the Samsung Galaxy S2, the refreshed phone was released in April 2011 and sported a similar 800 by 480 screen as its predecessor. The processor got a bump up to dual-core and 1.2 GHz, and there was 0.75 GB of RAM. The rear camera was 8 megapixels this time, with a 2 megapixel front-facing cam. Samsung embraced widgets with the Galaxy S2, something that rivals HTC was really pushing. Samsung Galaxy S3. Again sticking with the Roman numerals, so therefore technically known as the Samsung Galaxy S3, this model came out in May 2012 and was the first in the series to have a HD screen. Its resolution of 1280 by 720 was pretty revolutionary at the time. It also sported Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich. There was a 1.4 GHz quad-core processor with 1 GB of RAM on launch, although Samsung stuck with an 8 megapixel rear camera. It was slightly more sculpted than the previous phone and it felt like Samsung wanted to push the design a little harder. Samsung Galaxy S4. Released in April 2013 and ditching the Roman numerals that nobody used when referring to Galaxy phones anyway, the S4 had a 5-inch Full HD display. It also upped the processing power to a 1.9 GHz quad-core chip, with 2 GB of RAM. The rear camera had a jump to, up to 13 megapixels. The design sense that we'd had from the S3 really came through here. The Galaxy S4 was a great phone, it just looked and felt right. Samsung Galaxy S5. Coming in April 2014, the S5 also had a Full HD screen, but it was slightly bigger, measuring 5.1 inches, an LTE model eventually upped that to 2560 by 1440. There was a 2.5 GHz quad-core processor on board, with 2 GB of RAM. And the rear camera was once again improved, to a 16 megapixel module. But the most interesting thing about the Galaxy S5 was around the rear, with a texture like a sticking plaster. Samsung was still using removable plastic backs at this time. Samsung Galaxy S6. April 2015's Galaxy S line was the first to offer two separate devices at the same time. The more standard Galaxy S6 featured a flat 2560 by 1440 Quad HD Super AMOLED display, measuring 5.1 inches, while Samsung moved to embrace the curved edges, resulting in the Galaxy S6 Edge and S6 Edge Plus. It was a defining moment for the Galaxy S series, something that continues thereafter. It ran on a Samsung-made octa-core processor, had 3 GB of RAM and a 16 megapixel rear camera capable of recording Ultra HD footage. A 5 megapixel camera was adopted for the front. Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. Like its stablemate also released in April 2015, the Galaxy S6 Edge had a 5.1-inch Quad HD screen, octa-core processor, 3 GB of RAM, 16 megapixel rear camera and 5 megapixel front-facing cam. Where it differed is that the sides of the display are curved and wrap around to give the illusion of no bezel, a radical alternative at the time. Samsung Galaxy S7. The Galaxy S7 was announced in February 2016 and came with a 5.1-inch QHD display, 2560 by 1440. Like the S6 before it It was the flat-screen version of two handsets, but added a dual-pixel 12-megapixel camera for better low-light photography and faster octa-core processor. Samsung Pay was enabled on the phone, which could work through NFC and magnetic strip systems. Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. The Galaxy S7 Edge was a true flagship phone in every respect. It too was announced in February 2016 and its 5.5-inch dual-edge QHD display was simply superb. All of the same features as the S7 were on board and the design was a touch rounder than the S6 Edge that preceded it. Samsung Galaxy S8. The Samsung Galaxy S8 was the first to introduce the Infinity display, that referred to the fact it had an edge-to-edge display with virtually no bezels. The front-mounted home button was moved to the back too, albeit in a slightly awkward position, something Samsung should correct with the S9. While there was also a second variant in the S8 Plus, which came with a bigger screen and better battery, but the standard Galaxy S8 came with curved edges as standard. Samsung Galaxy S9. On the surface, the S9 looks very similar to the S8 from 2017. The phone still offered that curved edge design and comes with a 5.8-inch OLED screen size and was once again, waterproof. The Galaxy S9 also offered R-Emoji, which allows the phone to create a 3D avatar by scanning your face and creating a range of custom emoji for you. These can be used when chatting in WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, for example, rather than using basic emoji. Social. The Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus also launched alongside the S9, offering a dual-aperture main camera that was a step up from the previous year. Samsung Galaxy S10. The Samsung Galaxy S10 launched alongside the larger S10 Plus, the more affordable S10e and a 5G-capable model. The 2019 flagship from Samsung featured a lot of the same design facets we grew to know and love. There were also some enhancements with this model that included market-leading concepts, like the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. A triple camera system, smart auto camera suggestions and wireless reverse charging also made this another flagship to beat. It also had a punch-hole camera on the front. Samsung Galaxy S20. Samsung's flagship phone for 2020 is the Samsung Galaxy S20. There are also more premium variants in the S20 Plus and S20 Ultra, below. The standard handset takes the Infinity display concept further, almost eliminating the bezel entirely. It also switches the punch-hole front camera to the center. The screen sizes of the S20 and S20 Plus are 6.2 and 6.7 inches respectively, with Quad HD Plus, 3200 by 1440, resolutions. They also have in-display fingerprint scanners, like their S10 predecessors. Perhaps the biggest generational leap comes with a bump up to a 120Hz refresh rate for each screen, with triple lens cameras on both, with the S20 Plus also getting a time-of-flight camera. Both phones are 5G enabled, with a 4G version of the S20 also available. Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. The daddy of the 2020 range, the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra has a mammoth screen, 6.9 inches, Quad HD Plus, 3200 by 1440, and 120 Hz, but is perhaps going to be best remembered in design terms for its huge camera unit on the rear. As well as a time-of-flight sensor, the Ultra sports 108-megapixel main, 48-megapixel 10x telephoto and 12-megapixel ultra-wide cameras. It is also capable of up to 100x space zoom for some stunning long-range photography. Just make sure you pack a tripod. Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. The Samsung Galaxy S20 FE came in as a more affordable option, but unlike the S10e, it didn't feel compromised. Priced more affordably than the S20 models, it matches the power, with Snapdragon 865 globally, has a great display and the camera power of the S20 models. The build is slightly cheaper and it has a flat display, but it offers great value for money. Samsung Galaxy S21. The Samsung Galaxy S21 and larger S21 Plus take the flagship phone range in a slightly different direction. While they are a little cheaper than the launch price of the S20 models in 2020, there have been a couple of moves, reducing the display to 1080p only, and move to a plastic back rather than glass on the rear. But these are still powerful flagship-level devices, with a triple camera arrangement and offering adaptive refresh rates for that display, so while it's only 1080p, it will offer 120Hz. But in moving down in position slightly, it means that the S21 Ultra is the clearer flagship from Samsung in 2021. Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. While most of the attention will be on the huge camera unit on the back, Samsung has tried to shift the topic of conversation to the phantom black finish of the S21 Ultra. It's a premium look and feel for Samsung's top phone. With the S21 models moving down slightly, there's renewed focus on what the S21 Ultra offers, with a chance to improve on areas that fell short in the S20 Ultra. New display tech and a rethinking of the cameras on the back make for a more attractive package, with Samsung looking to reassert itself as the flagship phone to lust after. Samsung Galaxy S21 FE. A bit later to the party than its predecessor, the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE launched in January 2022, just before the Galaxy S22 range is expected. Offering many of the same design traits as the Galaxy S21 range, the main difference on the S21 FE is the color-matched rear camera. Size-wise, it sits in between the S21 and S21 Plus and it offers many of the same features too, including a 120Hz display, though it's not as capable as the S21. Like the S20 FE, the S21 FE hits the sweet spot in terms of price and features though, with mainly just a downgrade in camera to allow for the cheaper price. Samsung Galaxy S22. Samsung's Galaxy S22 feels like an iterative update to the Galaxy S21. Again, there are two models, the S22 with a 6.1-inch display and the S22 Plus with a 6.6-inch display. Outside of these size differences, these phones are basically the same, offering the same design and build, the same colors, the same power and hardware. There's a difference in the battery capacity, of course. Both these phones also share features with the Galaxy S22 Ultra, Samsung's latest flagship. Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Updating the flagship of the range, the Galaxy S22 Ultra supports the S Pen and houses it internally, so many see this as a replacement for the Galaxy Note 2. Indeed, the design has shifted slightly in those accommodations, but this device still packs in Samsung's top camera loadout from the previous Ultra phones. It's all about numbers with a 108MP main camera, 6.8 inches display, and a big battery, and the latest hardware available.